like their own separate ways, but a lot of people who are playing at the higher ranks warm up pretty similar and pretty much the same, right? So I'm loading on, first game on, first time on all day. Um, so let's go over this real quick. Let me just get this out of the way. I am Plat 2 currently, right? So I'm in Plat. I'm a little bit above average player, right? Highest MMR 4,308, one game off diamond, and then I dropped, right? So you can take my word or you cannot take my word. It's up to you. But how I personally warm up is I get on, right? Obviously. And then what you want to do is you want to go to T hunt or terrorist hunt, right? And you want to do this, you want to play terrorist hunt probably between, I don't know, 10 and like 30 matches, or really however long it takes for you until you feel warm, right? So you go to training grounds, right? Lone Wolf would be the preferred. But let's go and take a look on how to even start to warm up, right? So if you go to matchmaking preferences and then go to training grounds, right? I have everything off except for classic terrorist hunt. Classic terrorist hunt is the best way, in my opinion, to warm up. People can make the argument, hey, saying, hey, disarm bomb makes more enemies. That may be true, but A, you have to sit there, takes more time, and you're just getting clustered with enemies beyond control. So you're not really like taking time to focus on controlling aim. You're just trying not to die. That's basically what that is. I turned pretty much every map off except for house, coastline, and border. I like house because it's small. Border, I just like border, and there's no pre-placed C4s on border, so you won't get blown up randomly. And coastline, it's also a another pretty small map, honestly, so it'll take about 2 minutes at most. T hunts should take only about 2 minutes, should be your average, like flying through it, right? And then let's go look at my settings real quick. These are my personal settings. Every sensitivity is personalized. You can play at 30, 20, 20. I don't know, it doesn't really matter. But just keep in mind that, in my opinion, unless your vertical should not be higher than your horizontal, it can be the same as, but it should not be higher. Because believe it or not, the lower the vertical, the better recoil control per se you will have. That also goes along with your ADS, your aim down sights. The lower your ADS is, the easier it is to control recoil, but make sure it's not too slow because you won't be able to do flicks, right? And then sensitivity is based off of percentages, right? So since my ADS right here is 36, I'm using 36% of my horizontal sensitivity, right? It's just it's percentage based. So yeah, and then if you have controller drift, so typically new controllers don't, but if you have a older controller where it's been used a lot, then you want to raise this between, personally, if you have controller drift, 8 is about like should stop all controller drift and is still fast enough where it's not going to mess with your game, right? I personally play on 5. I've got like the tiniest bit of controller drift, but it doesn't bother me. I play in controller rotation classic. I used to play in updated up until about I'd say about 2 months ago, right? I just switched. I just switched. It's personally, I like it. I like it better than updated. I thought at first I'm like, yo, I can't control this, but I started off at a lower sensitivity in classic. I just got used to it, and then I just slowly increased from there, right? Update is just more of a slow, gradual movement, where classic's more of a whatever you do on your controller, it can do instantly, pretty much. There's no delay or there's no slowing down to make it a fine movement. This is my brightness. Brightness really depends on your TV. I mean, people say don't change it or people say change it, but it pretty much depends on your TV or your monitor, whatever you're playing on, right? So your brightness could be at 50, 55, 60, 90. It just depends on your monitor and your TV, right? VSync For terrorist hunt, especially warming up, definitely turn it off. You will notice your FPS go from about 30 to 60, right? And on an Xbox, 60 FPS is the highest FPS that you can get on an Xbox One X. I'm sure it could go higher if Microsoft really wanted to, but not the point. If you turn VSync on, you will notice a significant difference in gameplay. So make sure it's off. It will negatively affect you. Definitely negatively affect you. Let me go through this real quick, right? So English, English, Gem English. Subtitles, personal preference. Some people do, some people don't. I personally have music off, dialogue off. It doesn't really matter, right? And then dynamic range. I used to play in hi-fi for probably 3 years or 2.5, right? Hi-fi just makes close sounds super loud. Like gunshots are super, super loud. So if you have a really good headset, you're gonna blow your eardrums out basically. It takes time to get used to. But hi-fi, I'm pretty sure is the default. So it makes close sounds quiet and far sounds, or close sounds loud and far sounds quiet, which is pretty much normal, like normal hearing in real life. But it's really loud. So I switched to night mode, which most people do because it made close sounds quieter, but not too quiet. And far sounds are much louder. So if somebody's running up the stairs, like halfway across the map, depending on your headset, you can hear them, and you'd be like, all right, they're there. I can rotate to that. But you wouldn't be able to hear that in hi-fi. It's just like those tiny sounds that you need to hear from far away. You can with night mode. That's why I personally like it. And then master volume 100. General, I play with no points, right? Show scoring off, everything else on. I mean, that's it. I personally don't like scoring because I play comp a lot, so you can't play comp with points on. So you might as well just turn it off because you got to get used to it anyway. And if you're worried about, hey, well, what if I don't know if I injured somebody? Well, having no points on will make you train. So if you kill somebody or you injure them, right, you should visibly see them go down and use visible cues and sound cues because they do make a sound when you go down. They like tiny scream, loud scream, and then there's a blood trail where they were crawling. So use that as a visible cue that, hey, they're down. Right? You don't want to rely on points because it can distract you. Say you shot at somebody, you think you downed them, and you look at your points and you see that you got the 50 points, but that was for finding an objective, right? So you're like, oh, okay, I'm going to run over and finish my kill. Nope, he's still up. Well, I got points for it. Oh, wait, no, I didn't. It was for finding the bomb, right? So it really can, like, screw you sometimes. And then join after prep, automatic. I would prefer to, actually, it should be a manual. I don't know why it's not. It should be a manual. Manual is perfectly fine for me. I would like to use it and get off of it when I want. I mean, that's pretty simple. And it for most, like, comp wise, if you have people rushing, like, to take an area really fast, and you get off your drone for a second right when you spawn in, and then you have to go back on it, you could have missed, like, a rotation or a sound of something that could help your teammates out. That's why you don't want to just go off of it right away. You want to be able to stay on it and join your teammates in. So that's pretty much all of my settings, right? Currently. Now, back into playing Terra Sun, warming up, what this video is about. Let's go into Lone Wolf, right? So after you did the map check, so you put on house or whatever map, do not do a large map. This should be something quick, pretty easy, just something to warm up, nothing like elongated. Like I said, about 2 minutes per T-hunt. It's about average, right? So in order to, like, warm up, right, I'll pick Twitch F2. I got the ACOG on it. And just a little tip, Flash Hider currently is the best statistically out of all the attachments. Like Compensator and Flash Hider and Muzzle Brake. Flash Hider's better. Right. So then you want to, let's call it, go into the building. how many people warm up is you just aim for heads, go for one tap. So I'll switch to one bullet. You don't have to. You can do trigger or controller discipline. Switch to one bullet if you want. Automatic. So I'll switch to one bullet real quick. Right? Boom. Try headshot. Try headshot. You want to do this until you feel warm, right? Remember, this is my first game run. So you want to feel warm. Right? Doesn't matter if you die. KD, it's PvP or PvE KD. Doesn't really matter, right? It doesn't. It's not going to affect your gameplay or anything like that. Right? I went in, I died in, what, 10 seconds, got 5 kills? So be it, right? Come back and do another. Order again. That's fine. Now, no C4s on it. None. 0. So you don't have to worry about getting blown up or shooting nitro cells or C4s, right? So this time I'll switch. No, I'll just say Twitch F2 for the sake of it, right? Now, when you wanna warm up in a way that trains your senses and your eyes, because your eyes and your hands do pretty much everything. Hand-eye coordination, pretty simple. So you want to do certain exercises that warm those specific senses up. Okay. Like I said, one of those ways is to just do one-shot headshots. You walk in, do one-shot headshots. Now I'm playing with no sound because it makes you react faster to those white areas over there shoot from. Right? It trains reaction time. So you just want to go around this entire T-hunt in one tap headshot. Doesn't matter if you die. I mean, you can try not to. It's up to you. Now, let's call it. You also want to work on placement, crosshair placement, because that's extremely key. So if you can't come around a corner looking like this, like you just can't. You need to have head level. You need to know where head level is. That's why doing this one-shot headshot thing like this will train you to go A, to their head, and B, you'll know where head level is. So when you peek a corner, like I didn't even have to move my crosshair. I didn't have to move up or down to adjust because it was already lined up, right? Pretty simple. You just need to know at what level headshot and crouch is. That will greatly improve your accuracy, number one, and number two, your game awareness. Because if you know the height of which somebody's standing or crouching, then you can aim at that level and pre-fire them, right? Twitch has a little bit higher recoil, so it'll be a little harder if you're gonna pre-fire like that. But oh yeah, that's the sound thing that's typically there. So I don't want you guys to hear this, so I shot it. Now after playing these 3 maps, because I've played numerous, like literally thousands of T-hunts, I already know where most are, like most pre-placed or most terrorists are sitting, and you'll get used to that. And if you're just starting off, I would say do the ranked map playlist, like for terrorist hunts. That way when you're going through ranked, because each and every single map has its own unique layout, obviously, because it's a different map. But if you ADS, or you're just walking around a map, you'll get map knowledge, you'll get like crosshair placement on specific spots of that map, because each map has a different height of the floor, and different angles and couches, and where certain things are. It'll just increase your game awareness and your game sense immensely, right? I'm gonna switch to Ash on this one. Holographic, flash rider, vertical. I don't like angled, in my opinion. Doesn't really help on SMGs. Or submachine guns. I mean, it could probably help on Ash, but it doesn't really matter to me, personally. I ADS coming around corners and ranks. I have no need for it. That's just my personal opinion. You can fight with me about it in the comments if you want. Alright. I don't know why we keep getting borders, but whatever. So again, just walk around the map. And just do crosshair placement. Bang, headshot. Okay. Bang, headshot. You just literally simply You'll know if your crosshair placement's good when you're standing, right? Okay, as I say that. So if you'll know if it's good if you crouch right here and you hit somebody in the head that's crouching, and then if you stand up, you can choose somebody that's standing. Because every single operator has a height difference, but visibly in the game, they're all the same, right? Bang, and then if I would have crouched, right, I could have killed the terrorist that was crouching, because I should have been at that head level. That's the only way you'll know. And then, so also with warming up, you can do, not just one-shot headshots, you can simply go around and, kill as many as you want. Like, literally just go off. And specifically play your main operators, because that will also help with recoil control of that specific operator. The more time you've played on one operator, the better you'll get with said operator. Pretty straightforward. Pretty straightforward, right? So let's go Buck. Probably like the second highest recoil in the game. Flash hider again, best statistically attachment in the game, out of muzzle brake and all them. You can argue it all you want, but just shoot it right over TSM's YouTube channel. They even said it themselves. Right. Or Rogue 9, actually. Bang. So, you literally just one-shot headshots, and then it also, especially work on, like, recoil control. Bucks is down, right? Straight down. And then it also jumps up a little bit. How recoil works in this game, if you shoot up right here, notice how it went up into the right. Okay, I noticed how it went up and to the right. So in order to stop that, just pull down on your analog stick, down to the left. Right. You'll make a much tighter spread. Now that's the same for like Ash's gun. If you shoot straight, right, in order to figure out the recoil pen, shoot straight at a wall, and then you'll see where the bullets land, and if it goes up and to the right or up and to the left, and you just pull down in the opposite direction on your analog stick. Right? So if you, again, like I was saying, pull down to the right. So I went from that recoil to a tiny little spread. Not that it matters anymore. See it? That's the point. And then you simply just continue warming up. That's all. This game is just based on repetitive actions. The better you get at one thing, the better you will be. Now, if you're just running around terror stunts, just shooting them randomly, you're not going to get any better. You have to intentionally go into each terror stunt, focusing on recoil control, crosshair placement, and map awareness. Right. Pretty simple. And that's about all I got. If you have any questions, post in the comments. Or the Twitch chat if you're watching this on Twitch. Deuces.